It's the third Saturday of the month, which means we are back with another Game Club episode 100, the big 100. This time we're going to be talking about 2022's Escape Academy. I'm your host, Boston, and playing this on the Xbox Series X. I'm joined as always by Moonpeer.
Same and same.
And Musum.
Also Xbox Series X.
Yeah, if you were wondering, it's on Game Pass.
Yes. No,
Go.
it's not. It's just. I wish it was, but it's simply not a case of that. This podcast's blood runs green. It's just,
That's right.
Hey, this was free.
That's right. That's right. So at time of recording, it is on Game Pass. It's available on pretty much anything. Let's talk about the details of the game. Released July 14th, 2022. Published by I Am 8-Bit and Skybound Games. Developed by Coin Crew Games. It was released on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series consoles, and PC. Time travel for this game. Metacritic has it at an 80. OpenCritic has it at an 81. Peers for the release date. As Dusk Falls. The mobile version of Into the Breach. Stray. Bear and Breakfast. And Xenoblade Chronicles 3. We got a little bit of something for everybody in that month.
And also I can kind of see why this thing got buried. Which also answers my first question, or the first question of the show.
That's right. Is it top of the pile, middle of the pack, or overlooked?
Overlooked.
Yeah. I think the cute cat cyberpunk game sort of swung in. It was like, hey, everybody. Hi.
Yeah. That, and then for the more hardcore nerds, it was like, by the way, Into the Breach on cell phone, and it's a Netflix thing. So
that's right. And the largest JRPG on the Switch dropped as well. So
one of the best JRPGs on the Switch, honestly.
That's true. Yeah, I feel like if you had watched the Day of the Devs, the Double Fine sort of not E3 adjacent thing, I feel like they did a really great job of showing the people behind this game, the Coin Crew Games, where they said like, hey, our day job was designing arcade stuff in escape rooms, and then COVID hit, so we designed an escape room video game. And it was it was kind of a fun series of interviews that I thought really sold me on Escape Academy quite a bit, which is why I'm glad we were playing here. If you haven't played Escape Academy yet, it is a puzzle game. We will be talking about puzzles. We will be talking about the story. So if you've been...
Spoilers beware.
Yeah, if you've been interested in playing this, go take a break. It's only like 4 hours long. So go play it, and we will be here when you're done.
Right. Just before we jump in.
Sure.
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
How much actual escape room experience do we have?
I have 0.
Oh, I've done a few.
Okay.
This game,
the social one of us is the one who does the.
That's right.
I'm the social one. Man, we're in trouble.
Pretty much.
No, I've done some for work. My ex-wife and I did a few. There are a couple good ones in town. They are all exactly like this. They are completely nonsensical. Like when I started, so you said it was 4 hours long. I'm glad it took you guys that long to do it. It took me about an hour per puzzle, and I got like 5 or 6 puzzles in.
Okay.
So it was much longer to me, but I'm also not good at puzzle games. But generally, in escape room, you walk in and you start tearing everything apart that gives you like some sort of pattern that you can put in one of these lock combinations or something, you know?
Right.
So did you guys play this with anybody, or were you going at this solo?
I did this one solo. I had wanted to play it co-op, but I ran out of time to loop my wife into the puzzling.
Yeah, I did solo.
So I did this with 2 separate groups, and I honestly think that this actually colored my experience of this game. Because I probably would have got frustrated and annoyed and stumped in a lot of cases. But I was playing with different people each time who all have that different way of lateral thinking than I do.
Yeah.
Which meant that I get stumped on a puzzle, then they figure out, they get stumped on a puzzle, what is this, Spider-Man, and then
Heyo.
I figure out they get stumped, I get stumped, they figure it out, and
Right.
I actually did a rather cool thing because it's 2-player co-op, so only 2 people can be in co-op at the same time, which
Okay.
I will get into as a huge list of positives. But we were playing locally with different groups of people on each. We were playing online with different groups of people, all
Okay.
playing at the same time. So it actually turned into a 4-player co-op game, a 3-player co-op game,
Oh, fun.
because you had 2 people looking at the screen on each side of the connection, which ended up, and then it was 3 people looking at the screen, so it became a group experience in that way, rather than just 2 people sitting on the couch getting annoyed with each other because they can't figure out what 6Ds is.
Right. God.
Well, and the hint
Don't even
system,
get me started.
the hint system was pretty good.
I do give the hint
so
system a
good.
lot of credit. Yeah. I
Yeah,
used it 2 or 3 times, and it was there was only one puzzle in this game I had a problem with, and it pretty much directly gave me the answer, which I appreciated.
Yeah.
Was it the vases?
No, I had no problems with any of the other puzzles in this game except for the mission where you're breaking eel out of the ship, and there's the ones where they give you the 5 colors, and you have to add plus or
Positive.
positive or
Oh,
negative
yeah.
on the number. That made 0 sense to me, even when they're like, all right, it starts with 242, and I was like, I don't know how you got there. Okay. I wrote down a bunch of numbers, and that was not the numbers. Okay, cool.
Oh.
Yeah, there were, I feel like, especially on saving eel, like there was at least 1 or 2 where I somehow managed to like guess, like I had no idea how it was working, and I just magically guessed the right thing on accident. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
And I suspect these, like, so Moon, did you replay any of the same puzzles? Like, I'm kind of curious if it randomizes some of these elements.
I haven't yet. No.
It does not randomize. I can
Okay.
verify that. Which is kind of a bummer because it seems like it's really well set up to randomize a bunch of stuff where, like, here the values are different or the colors are different or something like that, but all of them are the same.
Oh, okay. I'd assumed that would be the multiplayer aspect. I did not realize there's a co-op thing. Maybe I should actually start playing with games with people someday.
So
It's overrated. You're fine.
let me tell you about the co-op in this game.
Yeah, I'm
'Cause
curious.
It seems I'm the only one who did it. So it has a activate and deactivate see your partner's screen function.
Oh, so you can see what they're seeing?
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's really smart.
So let's say you have the solution to, or the guideline to a puzzle on one wall, and the puzzle is on the opposite wall.
Right.
Someone could just stare at the guideline while somebody else is solving the puzzle while you're communicating while you're doing it.
That's really smart. Oh,
It's
also,
super cool.
also, it's like there's so many times in these games where it's like, hi, I just show me what you're seeing. Okay, I need you to move this thing over here, and then I'll tell you how to read Morse code. Let's do this.
It's super useful because then you're like, okay, you need to go and get the cake that's on the table in the other room. And they're like, I don't see no cake.
Yeah.
And you can literally just see their screen and be like, yeah, just like Portal 2, I think, did it. And the co-op mode
Right.
in that. You
Right.
could be like, no, it's just to the left a little bit. You can see it right there on the table. Go grab that kind of thing.
Right.
It was
That's smart.
so cool and so helpful to be able to see it. And of course, as always, we all did the thing where it's like, wait, no, I'm the one on the left. I'm the
Right.
one on the right. Which
That's
one
right.
am I?
You're walking into a corner. It's like, I'm looking at the wrong side again. Okay.
What were there 2 people for you guys, or was it just 1 person for you guys?
Just one person.
Okay, because there is specific dialogue text in the game about there being 2 people instead of 1.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Like when you do the versus escape room, where there's 2 of you working through the escape rooms, the stupid sorority, like, look down the nose chick is like, I'm glad there's 2 of you because then I get to just destroy 2 people instead of
that's
just
really
1.
good.
Oh, nice.
That's really good.
It's a nice little reference that it's a I'm sure it took way more effort than I give it credit for, but
Right.
it's a really nice little thing where it's like, okay, cool. You're acknowledging the fact that two people are going against one
Yeah.
person in this trial by combat.
Yeah, two people are going to be the champions of Escape Academy. Yeah.
It's really cool.
Honestly, it's a really well polished game. Like,
Yeah.
this is it. Everything on the screen communicates way better than I am used to in these indie games, and like the art style was fantastic. Like, my only real complaint is it's like a compliment complaint. Like, I really like that you can pin certain items you find to your screen.
I like that a lot.
I wish you could move it around the screen, because multiple times it was like
Yes.
taking the bottom right-hand corner. It's like I can't see the thing I need to see.
I'm trying to
Like the
disarm a bomb.
butterflies one is what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, the butterflies one was especially. I also have to give it a lot of credit. I wasn't expecting the story to be really anything.
Good.
I thought it would just be like one escape room after another, and you're kind of led from one to the other. But I thought the story was really good. It was just enough to keep me interested and give a reason to go from room to room, and like enough of intrigue to pull me along. But it wasn't like, here's a 20-minute cutscene, let's go. And it's like, nah, you get 3 or 4 boxes of dialogue, and then we're going to go to the next one. I appreciated that, and I thought it was good.
I will, like, this is where the spoilers start, folks. I will say it is very, very tropey in the fact that Eel is the villain.
Yeah.
And it super tickled me because his name is Eel. He's a master of escape, and he looks like Solid Snake.
Yep. It's really good. I gotta say, I think I play a lot of puzzle games, so I hope this doesn't come off the wrong way, because I think this was by design, and I will couch it here in a second. I think this game is way too easy. I never felt like I was in trouble at any point from a time or a getting stuck perspective, except for that one puzzle. But I don't think that's a problem for 2 reasons. One, I don't think every game needs to be The Witness. I want them to be hard like The Witness was, but that's just me because I play a lot of these. But 2, I appreciate that it was on the easier side, so not only just so everybody can play it, but also because you do have the time limit. Like, I don't want this room to be filling up with water, and I'm under a time crunch, and you have like the hardest puzzle on the planet in front of you. Like, there should be those puzzles in those like the library that was burning and the water filling up one. Those ones were especially easy because you had that other time limit. The poisoning one a little bit less so. But I appreciated that it was kind of an easier experience because you did have that time limit, and it wasn't like I'm finishing every puzzle with 10 seconds left. Most of the time I was finishing the puzzle with 25 minutes left.
So I assume this means you never ran out of time.
No.
Okay, so I ran out of time.
I did too. It's super cool.
Yeah, like they just give you more time. They're like,
oh, that's clever.
Here, you can have 5 more minutes. They give you a slightly worse grade, and then if you run out again, they give you like 10. And I don't think I ever had to go past there.
That's really smart. I really like that.
It's like quit and restart or add more time. That's your 2 options.
That's really great. It makes me so happy to hear that they don't have like a hard fail state. It would be kind of nice if there was at least an option for that, of like, no, when my time is out, my time is out. You obviously don't get the A+. I got the A+ on all of them except for that stupid ship mission. But it's kind of nice that I want more people to play games, and I want them to be more accessible to different people. So if you don't finish this puzzle in 45 minutes or whatever the time limit is, it should give you at least the option of saying like, nah, man, just keep going. Like, you're almost done. Like, just 5-10 more minutes. There you go. No big deal.
Like, I played this with a variety of people, and I do agree with you, Boston. It was on the easier side for me, and that's not to besmirch you, Newsom.
Right.
Well, and to be clear, like, most of the time when I was extending it, like, there were very few puzzles I was actually stuck on the puzzle aspect. Most of it was like, I have no idea. Where's the interactable element that
Right, where do I
missing?
put this number into?
Yeah, like it's usually I'm missing an element, like the graffiti one, for instance. I had a lot of trouble finding the items to start the puzzle on
Yeah,
that one.
was real tricky to start. Yeah.
Yeah, and like the thing that I loved about this was like I am a hardcore gamer. Spoiler alert, I do 6 different podcasts about it, apparently. I am okay with puzzle games. I'm not an expert, but I'm okay with puzzle games.
Mm-hmm.
But I played this with somebody who doesn't know how a controller works.
Right.
Somebody who is kind of a gamer, but been away for a while, so was coming back into this after a long time away.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody else who is an average to above average gamer, depending on the game.
So you got kind of like the full spectrum of experiences.
Exactly. I had the full spectrum, and we were all interacting, all like giving like feedback and notes on all of the different things. Like I am a pretty solid lateral thinker, but only in a certain direction of lateral thinking.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So like that 6D puzzle took me so long to figure out, because I was like, well, it's 6. There is 6 Ds. It's 6.
Right. I'll put in 6. And then I said it was like, it's 6 Ds. Oh, it's 60. Like as soon as I said it out loud, I was like, oh, it's 60. I swear to God. And I put the number in. It's like, correct. And I was like, son of a... Well, and that's why I liked playing The Witness with my wife, is that like half of the puzzles, I was able to be like, oh, I get it. Doop, 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 doop. There we go. Done. And the other half, I was just like, what are we? We're like folding pieces? Or what are we doing? And she's like, oh, I get it. And was just able to like fold, 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 fold. We're done. I was like, what? Okay. Wow. Great. So like that's the part of the experience in these sort of like pen and paper puzzle games that I really like, is the kind of sharing of like, how do you not see this? It's 2235. And she's like, oh, I don't. Okay. Yeah, that was the number. Great.
Yeah, like I really enjoyed my time with this game.
I did too.
I was talking with Boston about it. I think it was while we were waiting for the museum, and I think I said to him like, we accidentally stayed up till 4 a.m. last night playing this. Like I didn't even realize it was that late until it was like, oh, you've got one mission to go, and all of a sudden my eyes was like, oh, it's like 3:30 at night. Okay.
Right.
It's one of those games that you just feel good being in that world, is kind of what I found. Like the art style is real inviting. Like the art style kind of reminded me of Eichenfeld, like a tiny bit.
Yeah.
It had a certain optimism to it that I really enjoyed. And I liked the absolutely ridiculous premise of like,
we're kidnapping you to come to Escape Academy, solve this puzzle, or we're knocking you out and sending you home.
You're going to learn to do escape. Yeah, well, sorry, go on.
The bad guys are anti-escapists.
I know. It's really good. Oh god. Yeah, I really appreciate. I especially appreciate. There's something so good about the success sound when you successfully solve like a piece of the puzzle, and that immediately went to my brain. I was like, yeah, I did real well. That's me. This guy with the thumbs. Yeah. I do really have to call out the kind of like almost breaking the fourth wall final puzzle, where you find out who the bad guy is, and then the hints around the environment in that like glowing purple paint, leading you to kind of the puzzle behind the puzzle, I thought was really good. And that stuff I think was a fairly solid challenge for kind of to put a capstone on the experience overall.
That was the hardest part for me. It was minus non-correct lateral thinking. The vases one threw me off. Like it genuinely threw me off. The
bomb defusal one?
No, the face in the door. And you had to get the shape of the vases to set the facial features in the right way. Yeah, that one threw me because I wasn't looking at the vases; I was looking at the faces.
Yeah, that one stuck me for a while because I didn't realize that you could move the mouth. So I'm like, I have the eyes and the eyebrows correct, and it's just burnt. I was like, what is happening? And then I accidentally clicked the mouth, and I was like, huh, okay. Fair enough. I didn't pull Mario's jaw down at the beginning of Mario 64.
Literally, the first thing I thought of as soon as that happened was,
Yep.
"Hey, it's a Mario 64
Let's
title screen."
go. Yeah.
Oh,
I have to say, Moon, you mentioned earlier the competition puzzle. That's probably my favorite one because I'm more than sure that you always win that race against Jillian, but
you do.
it didn't feel like it. Like the each one of the puzzles were fairly solid, and I liked that there was this push, this pressure of you kind of moving as fast as possible, and then my reaction, myself sitting in my living room when I turned the corner for the final one, and there's those like 8 puzzles around the thing, and I was just like, you gotta be kidding me. There's like 8 more of these, like 8 mini puzzles that I have to like rapid fire do, and it's like that was a really cool set of puzzles.
But that was also like super satisfying because it's
Yes.
like, okay, once you get the first one done, it's a domino effect of that one's done, next one's done, next one's
This
done.
one fits
But the
here,
best
that one
part
does
for me-
that. Yeah.
Yeah, my favorite part of that was I was playing co-op, so I was taking the right hand side, and my partner was taking the left hand side.
Right.
So it was just like ding, 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 ding.
That's
ding,
really
ding.
cool. Yeah, I have to give it credit because I don't think there were any puzzles in there that I actively disliked. I think the ship one I disliked probably the least, but I don't think it's bad. I just didn't like it as much, and I think the poisoned milkshake one had a little bit too large of an environment to traverse, where there wasn't really anything kind of interesting. When you got to the kind of the big cafeteria room, I thought that was kind of empty of things. But
I missed a clue because it was so big, and I missed one clue.
But I think those are kind of minor things, personally, for a game that I think turned out way better than I was expecting it to. Like, I was expecting to be like, yeah, it's a series of escape rooms. Yay, this is going to be great. And when I finished it, I was like, crap, that was really good.
Yeah. Have you some any least favorite / favorite puzzles?
None of them really. Like, anytime I have to add colors together to get another color, I don't know the answer to that. I have to Google that.
Oh, sure.
I do the same thing.
So that one was particularly like it was more annoying than tough, right? Like, and I agree on the poison one. Like, the area was too big. Like, that was. Like, I'm really nitpicking by saying this. Like, it's one of those doesn't really matter, but like, it was too easy to forget about a puzzle in a room that you completed and go into another area, and then like you could solve something there, and like I'd have to backtrack. Like, that was a lot of the reason that I lost time, is because I would forget about things.
The speak truth twice one. Or think twice.
Cogito ergo sum.
Burning library. That one couldn't solve the padlock on the chest. Went away from it, completely forgot about it, and then was walking around that level for like 10 minutes, being like, "What? Where is this last shield?"
Yeah.
Also, I think it's really funny that you guys are got stumped by color combo puzzles, because that's like literally every show for my 5-year-old is like, yellow and green make blue, blue and red make purple, and I'm like, oh, I know that, I got this one down. Like, I've been training for this for years.
That's awesome.
To be exact.
Yeah. Musin, what was the last puzzle you completed? Because I think you said you hadn't finished it all the way.
I had not. Like, I only filled out half of the badge thing. So my assumption is like, I did like 5 or 6 of them. So I did the poison one, I did the water one, I did the save eel one. Well, yeah, I had to have done the save eel one, because then he does the milkshake and poison sabotage ones.
Right.
And the gosh, maybe that was the last one I did.
Okay. Yeah, because there are only 11, not counting the very first like intro one that's like supposed to be super, super easy. There's only 11 of them, because you get all 10 pieces, and then there's one after that. So
yeah, I unfortunately just ran out of time. Like, because we only had like 2.5 weeks or something, and my brain just did not process that in did not play it last week, and then this week hit, and I was like, oh, I got to start this, and then I started it, and I'm like, this is only 4 hours, and then I'm a couple badges in, and I'm like, I'm not going to finish.
This is not 4 hours. Yeah.
This is taking me too long. Like, the way I game is I will play for 10 or 15 minutes and get distracted by something, like, often. I have a issue with attention span. So me and this game, we're kind of at odds in that aspect, but I really like this game a lot.
Yeah, me too.
How did you ever learn to play instruments?
It's a repetitive motion that you just repeat a whole bunch, and I can do it while I do other things. So I can watch TV. I was lucky in that I had a lot of friends that would always encourage me to play when they were around. And it did not even occur to me that it might be annoying one of them till years into it. And one of them's like, you know, you don't have to play this entire time.
And you're like, yeah, man.
I like this a lot.
That's right. That's right. Musim, what are your kind of... Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Musim, what are your kind of final thoughts here for Escape Academy?
I like it. It feels like a shot of optimism. It feels very, very polished. Like it's
super wholesome. I didn't even think about that until you said that. Like,
that's a great point.
It's really wholesome all around. Yeah, there's a bad guy and kidnapping and everything, but it's still wholesome the entire way throughout.
It embraces its ridiculous nature, which I love. I think anywhere from a child to an adult could play it. Like, I would recommend this to even non-puzzle fans. And like hearing what you said about the multiplayer moon, that sounds like the way to engage with the game. Honestly.
Yeah, 100%.
Like
that's cool.
I really like this game. I see myself finishing it. But we'll see. I don't know. It may be December before I do that. We'll see where my free time lands.
Right. Moon, what about you?
Like you guys, I do have to give it a shout out to the ship level being the worst level in the game.
Yeah, and it's not bad.
It's not even that bad.
Yeah, it's just
comparatively, it's rough.
Yeah.
My favorite level was the garden level.
The bomb one?
No, the actual garden when you first meet that teacher.
Oh, where you're brewing tea?
Oh, yeah, I did that one. That was the last one I did.
That's a cool level. You get to wield the beast.
Level.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, what? And then you go to use it on the other door and you realize you need gas, and then that's obviously something that's somewhere else.
Yeah.
That's a great chain because it's an area that widens, but it doesn't get too big.
Right.
And then in each of the new rooms, there's a different type of puzzle to solve. And it gives you everything you need to know with context clues.
Yes.
Like, it's been so long since I did college level biology, but I was like, okay, so clearly I'm trying to get the genetic sequence of this particular plant, and this is how I do it. I'm going to weigh it and compare it against that, and I'm going to do this and compare it against that. And like, it gives you, I suppose that's the point of escape rooms, is to give you what you need most of the time by context.
Right.
All you've got to do is know how to read that context, and I think that level is a perfect example of it.
Yeah.
I adore this game.
Yeah.
I had so much fun playing this. It was such a break from everything else I feel like I've been playing over the past 5 years.
It's a real breath of fresh air.
Like, there's nothing quite like it that exists, period.
Yep.
Like, it's so unique in all of its way. I wish they were making a bigger scream and shout about this, because this is the perfect Game Pass game.
Yeah.
Where it's like, you know, you've got a family plan or whatever, and you've got kids who like to play games. Give it to them. Let them take a shot at it.
Yeah, rainy Saturday, go through Escape Academy.
Exactly, and it does give you that lateral thinking, which all of us as humans need to develop. Sometimes you can't solve a solution that way. It needs to be done at a weird angle, kind of thing.
I'm hoping
is permanently kilter. That's why he gets it so quick.
That's right. Over the next year, they're going to have 2 pieces of paid DLC and 1 free DLC. So I'm hoping that coming out will bring people back to the game and say, like, yeah, Escape Academy is still great. You should play Escape Academy now. Like, maybe it's a February of next year and it's a little quieter. Fire this thing up.
You know, let me say one more thought.
Sure.
And that is, real life escape rooms feel like a cheap version of this game.
That is a good compliment.
like
That's high
hands down.
praise.
If you
Yeah.
go to a real escape room, like I've been to some that's literally they just rented out some old office building, and you walk
Mhm.
into
Is
an
it-
office room and they lock the door, and it's just a regular room that you are tearing things apart in and unlocking things, and it's very non-fantastical a lot of the time.
Right.
So
Um,
it's like the first one in this game where like they've got the brick and it pins to the wall.
It's
exact.
right.
That
Welcome to the
first one is
escape
even
room.
fancier than some escape rooms I've been
Right.
to.
Oh,
But
jeez.
like- like I've been to one like really, really like cool escape room where it's like, oh, we're in an underground airplane and it kind of looks like you're in a cargo thing, and eventually
cool.
you unlock this thing that you crawl through and you find a really crappy looking dead body that's just like a pillow with a shirt on.
Right.
And like that was the fanciest one I've been to, but like they're
Right.
all kind of that same logic of it, you are not actually solving a murder in this room. You are looking for codes to put into things, you know.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
I
They
know
were-
they did a bunch of themed ones, usually to do with promotions of stuff, but from what I understand, the Resident Evil ones were absolute bangers because they had like actors and stuff dressed up as the characters and things like
Oh,
that as
wow.
well. And it's like, I'm sure I wouldn't be able to afford that, but I'd like to do it.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's some really good high level escape rooms, like with a lot of really cool production value in them out there. But
Yeah.
the 3 or 4 I've been to around Tulsa, only one of them has had production value, and the others are literally like it could be this room I'm in with
Right.
less stuff.
Right. Play the right tune on the piano. You unlocked it. All right.
Literally, that was the
Oh no,
first
that
thing
is
that popped into my
fancier
head.
than anything, boss.
Oh, boy. Okay.
You're not playing. The pianos would be gone.
Right.
There'd be a shelf with a box and a lock on it, and you'd be looking through books for a code. You know?
Right. I gotta agree with both of you. I didn't expect too much of this going in. I was hoping for a cool puzzle game, and I think it all kind of came together in a way that I don't think we see a lot of games that we're playing, especially on Game Club here, where it's usually we have a game that's kind of less than the sum of its parts, where it's like, it was pretty good, this thing was great, but you know, it's kind of okay by the end of the day. But everything about this game was really great, and it's a super small team, and they really knocked it out of the park with everything. They did such
I
a
hope
great
it does
job.
well. Like,
Yeah,
I
I hope so.
genuinely hope if you're listening to this and you're not even interested in playing it, just at least go download it from Game Pass. Get
That's
them,
right. Fire it
download
up.
launch it once, and be done with it.
Yeah, let it run for an hour. Yeah.
Yeah, give them the hits they need, because like you said, like when they interviewed this, Day of the Devs is the only reason I knew about this, and I'm so glad I remembered it for this late in the year.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so charming in all of the ways. Like, people who don't play video games, who look down at video games with scorn, were having a great time playing this. Like, it tells you everything you need to know. And yeah, we were laughing at the story and the fact that the guy looks like Solid Snake and everything else. But it's cool. It's charming. It's fun. It's free if you use Game Pass, which, if you listen to us talk, why don't you have Game Pass?
That's right. That's right. Like, use promotional code TVGP. No, I wish you would.
I wish.
Yeah.
But yeah, by the way, the 2 pieces of DLC they've got: Escape from Anti-Escape Island.
Perfect.
And the one I'm kind of hyped for, Escape from the Past.
Okay. I will have to play both of those as soon as they come out. It seems like they have a fairly solid roadmap for like the entirety of next year, and there's some free piece of DLC in there too. And
5 new escape rooms in each of the DLC, apparently.
Wow, that's a lot. Okay. All right. I'll buy that DLC. Yeah. I'll do that. Yeah. All right. Well, that's it for Escape Academy. Go play it if you haven't. Let's talk about our next game, which is The Room from 2012. This is on iOS, Android, PC, and Switch. If you're on iOS, it looks like there is The Room for iPad and The Room Pocket for iPhone. So it appears that they're the same game. This is also not The Room like Old Sins or something. There's like 6 other games. We're just going to play the very first one.
And we're not watching the Tommy Wiseau movie either. Just so
We
you
are
know.
definitely not. That is another podcast we do called Critical
I'm
Pieces.
going to do it while I watch it now.
There you go.
Play the room while
Synergy.
you play the room in your
Oh,
room.
hi.
That's right. That's right. All right, so our next game is The Room. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening, and we'll see you all next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.